All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Draft Lottery. This is Season 10, the big 1-0. I can't believe we've made it all the way to double digits, and, well, there's no people I'd rather be at this point now making CSC history with than my two lovely co-hosts. We've got King Willie, we've got Chu Tang. My name is Fuffy, and this is the Draft Lottery. I just want to say, how excited are you guys for tonight?
I'm chuffed.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I mean, I cannot wait for this. I actually can't wait.
It'll be a fun one. It'll be a little stressful. I know, Willie, you and myself are both currently on or associated with franchises, so we're of course going to be rooting for them in this game of marbles. That's right. If you haven't seen the Draft Lottery before, this lottery is done through a game of marbles. All the marbles roll through the track. It takes about 2 minutes or so. And in the order that they get to the finish line, that is the order of the picks. Of course, everybody's gunning for that first round pick. But every pick is valuable. And as well, it's a snake draft, meaning whoever's first in the first round is last in the second. And it continues to alternate like that. So there's really value in being in all kinds of different places. Picks can also be traded. So even if you might not need the best pick, you could still trade it and get something else valuable out of it. So all the GMs are likely tuned in and cheering for this one. Speaking of all the GMs, I think we can actually take a look. We have set up a GM war room to just get a look at them all as they're all preparing to get some reactions. We can go ahead and check them out. Look at them all there. We see the peace sign. Everybody's just chilling, having a good time, hanging out. I appreciate all the GMs for being in here. I know it's pretty early, so it's hard to get a huge group of people, but they'll join in and out as they can. Now, our first tier for tonight is an interesting one. I don't like to say that, in some tiers it's more balanced or not more balanced than others. But first up is Prospect, and I've got to say, Prospect, you never know what you're getting because there's a lot less experience, but then there's so much potential for growth that I think the draft and having early picks is actually really important. What do you guys think?
I think it's an apt description, when especially in the prospects. Sometimes you'll get players who just know how to play the game at that level. They can click heads just as well as anyone else above them in the other tiers, and that I think that will be what you need the most when you get these picks. And sometimes that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, obviously having the higher pick, it sets you up really well. Aside from just the obvious, being able to click heads, there's also, a lot more game knowledge that comes into some of these higher picks, these round 1, round 2, round 3 picks that come through. You have better util, usually better comms, just coming through from them. And, a lot of the times, though, you also have players that are undervalued. You have players that might go later on, 5th, 6th round, that, maybe their aim isn't quite there, but just their IQ is just through the roof. And so I think that Prospect is one of those very exciting tiers that you really have to tune in for and watch the games.
Yeah, these picks can be very important, but that being said, I like the idea that sometimes it's just a player that's undervalued. Sometimes it's less about what pick you have, but who you pick with it. Obviously, the earlier picks, the larger the player pool there is to select from. That being said, this game of marbles, I'm going to say it's fair, but it's also not fair because it's based off of odds from the previous season, brought to you by our lovely stats committee. We have a little graphic that we can pull up to show. Shout out, Willie, you are the one who's been working on this. We can see that the prior champions as well as the second place semifinalists in Yokai Cafe and the Aviary, both just at 10%. So 10 marbles in the race, while other teams such as the NA Nades are all the way up at 16. Speaking of those prior champions, I want to. We have a little bit of a guest in here to bring in because these odds mean something, but I want to hear straight from the GM's mouth how much these picks are worth. So, Annex, you're here with us? Pulled you all the way into this one. Looking at these odds, obviously you can see who's in a good position, but based on what you know of the franchises, who would you say is in a good position to try to win big from the lottery tonight?
First off, thank you for having me on the lottery, especially on Prospect. First GM to talk here. Means a lot. But, well, you can see the draft lottery odds, plain simple. We, of course, won during Prospect, so we do have the lowest chance of trying to get that first position, always all coveted. That first draft position. We did actually win first draft position last season, but end up trading it away. Still got a good player after trading down. But you see Nan getting 16% there, but I wouldn't count out any team from getting that first position, even if their draft odds are slightly lower. Anything can happen during the marble race.
Anything can happen indeed, and I believe we can be ready to just jump on into this one. Go ahead and take a look. All the marbles being set up. These marbles, shout out to Firehawk, our lovely admin, the one to bring all the marbles here to life. It looks like I don't see them up on screen right now. Perhaps it's a tech error. Perhaps we can throw back to the desk and figure this out for a second. While we try to figure this out in DMs, I want to I say we sort of open this up as a discussion, as a group. Willie, as a member of the NA Nades, seeing that high of a percentage, are you hopeful, or does it just make you nervous that your marbles might let you down?
You know, I gotta say I am hopeful. Obviously, looking back at last season, Prospect was an interesting story for the NA Nades. Now, when it does come to, being hopeful for our picks, I think that we can pick up some, absolute bangers this year. With, if with that high percent chance, I think we have a very good shot. But it does look like we do have the marbles ready, and so we can go ahead and throw it over to that.
Ooh, it's marble time. Annex, feel free to cheer out loud for your marbles, as now it looks like we're ready to
get
this race underway.
Are you giving me the green light to yell a lot?
First pick.
You know what? I'll let you yell. As the special guest, you can yell as the marbles they be dropping. Look at them go.
Oh,
okay,
man.
we already have lost some marbles. I love how this happens. I also love AVI up ahead. We love AVI.
Oh.
Oh, Nan taking first.
A lot of the Pirates up there first, too.
Nan and AVI are kind of going back and forth right now.
Oh, yeah. Gotta say, AVI kind of needs this because there's also pick trading, and AVI has actually traded away a couple of their picks and prospect. I believe their second round.
Ooh, teleporter.
Which would mean that having a high pick here could be very useful. We see the marbles going, and now we see AP, the new franchise, up ahead so far.
Oh, they're stuck.
What? Oh, they're stuck. Wait,
oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Eventually. Did you guys explain yet on how the marbles apply to the draft?
Yeah.
It's the order of the picks.
Yeah, order the marbles finish is the order the picks come in.
Of the franchise.
It looks like Yokai Cafe.
Oh my god! No fucking way!
The Yokai Cafe.
No! The second season in a row.
Let's go!
And of course, Upsetty and Samurai have to be in there too. It always happens.
Man, with the
no way it happened the second season. It happened.
OS though, getting 2 in a row right there, third and fourth. That is kind of a banger.
It's rigged. Annex, I'm so glad we brought you in, but this is rigged.
No way.
Now we see the rest of our
with a by winning prospect.
How do you get first overall by winning this season? AVI is not even on the list of the top 10. Of course, the repeat marbles don't count. It's just about the first one that your team gets in. So we'll get the full list once this is done to be able to read off the picks. And this is just one of 5 tiers. Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm not joking. I'm actually lightheaded after screaming that.
Take a breather. Take a breather.
Take a breather. Take a breather.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I gotta... I love the... I love it and hate it when this happens. But, Prospect is such a tier where there's a lot of diamonds in the rough. In my opinion, what picks you have doesn't matter too much. As you said, Annex, you traded away that first overall last season and still we're in a really good spot.
And we're going to fucking do it again.
Oh, wow.
I'll do it
Any
again.
potential buyers watching, you got your offer right now. A fourth pick. It could be yours.
Who
I'm
needs
not-
the GM trade chat? Just say it on stream.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure if we're going to do it again, but it's fun to say that.
It is fun to say that, and it's fun to see these marbles go after those. After we took a look at the odds, we can begin to compare that to exactly what has come through as YC has the first overall in this draft, and then it is. It looks like it's Upsetty Spaghetti, Order Samurai, NA Nades, ATL, AP, AVI, and then Sav, the Savannah. So it's an interesting one here, as perhaps not exactly the same as would have been suggested by those odds, but that's why it's a lottery. That's why it's a little bit exciting,
Chill.
Rigged.
Rigged.
No, I think everything's gone perfectly.
That's
fate.
fair.
It was fate. It was destiny.
Before we really break down these details, we'll try to get it all at the end. I think we can start talking about the next race, and we can start talking about the odds for the next race. Annex, thank you so much for joining us. We'll go ahead.
I'm so glad I joined you guys in winning a second time. That is perfect. This is the perfect script. Whoever wrote the script is amazing.
And we'll go ahead and take a look at the odds for Contender, as we know the odds for some reason seem to mean nothing. And as you can see, there's a lot more teams in Contender this time.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these, obviously, we saw some pretty high percentages coming out from the prospect side, but Contender, I mean, you have as low as 6% with Sav and Nan being, obviously the finalists last season. I got to be part of that team. But I mean, as we saw, these percentages obviously don't matter too much. No. So I think that these will be pretty interesting races right now. Now, we did not have a logo. If you guys are looking at this, we do not have a logo for one of the new franchises. And so where is the beef? This is now your new logo. And so I see some comments about that in chat. But we are... I mean, this is going to be a good one. I'm very excited. All of these teams, all of these marbles that are just waiting to fall off.
Oh, yeah. We're very ready for this one. But this time, we're bringing in a different special guest. Someone who is within the tier of Contender themselves. And someone very near and dear to my own heart, my current general manager, Hawkish. When you look at this and you see 9%, I'm going to ask the same question as we get you in and set up. Hawkish, do you feel hopeful looking at these odds? Do you feel nervous again?
Well, personally, I would say, considering we got first overall last season and that pick didn't work out so well, I just want to see where it happens this season. And I think the percentages are close enough that it really is not going to have that huge of an impact versus Prospect, where the percentages were a little bit wider apart. So I'm happy with where we are. Hopefully, we get some solid luck.
All right, hoping for some solid luck. That's always fair. I'm also out here hoping for a little bit of solid luck. This time we can go ahead and just jump straight into the marbles, I say.
Hawkish, I gotta ask.
What's up?
We had Annexelia here, and even with the lowest odds they managed to get the first pick. Do you believe that the guest luck will get you the first pick, AVI, the aviary?
I will say, as I said before, I actually kind of don't want the first pick, considering what happened last season. Maybe we can shake up that luck and get somewhere high, but not number one again.
I mean, it is a lot of pressure when you can pick through literally every player, I think we had a pretty great pick.
Let someone else take that risk, not me.
We had a pretty great pick besides that player being unable to play,
Yeah.
As we go ahead and get ready for this one, it looks like the marbles are all set now, and they're off to the races.
All right, here we go. I'm rooting for Nan here. Obviously, the contender team, we're pretty ballers, so we don't exactly need a pick, but we wouldn't mind a first round pick in this scenario. But I am not seeing Nan really sticking
Birds
with anyone
fly.
up on the board. And here we go. Finally down into the funnel, huh?
Ooh. Ooh.
Who is going to be the first one to make it down? Oh, there's just so many.
It's
Yeah, good luck
one of
figuring
them.
that one out.
As
Yeah,
soon as the
yeah.
first marble goes across the board, I just want to ask production, could you be ready to just quickly cut to the GM cams? I want to see if they react to this as
Mhm.
they're watching on stream.
It's true.
And then we can cut back to see the rest of the marbles as they get in. Right now, though, we just see them going. We see them sliding. I love and hate how many franchises there are that start with the letter A.
It does make it a bit interesting to sort them all out, but does it matter is the question. Are we going to have an A franchise come through, or maybe a Nan franchise come through? Who knows?
I don't know about the
No.
Nan franchises. They're fine.
I don't think it's gonna be. There's none of them are in the top 10.
Yeah,
right now.
no, I don't know. Nan is not looking great right now.
Oh,
I mean, it's-
HG. Mikey's got
Yeah,
to be
but look at
happy
the
with
other
this.
side. Look at the other side.
Oh, they're way far.
but that boost right there could help.
Oh, that's HG.
And I think
Oh, it's
HG
HG.
might actually take
HG.
this.
Oh,
That is going to be HG
oh, it's
finishing in
HG. All right,
first.
let's check these. Let's see
Let's check
these
the cam.
war rooms.
Oh, they
I
are
wanna
so
check
far
war
ahead. Oh
room.
my.
Oh my goodness, nobody even coming close.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, a
All
bunch
right.
of them now.
All right.
Can we cut to
They
those
could've
GM war
got
rooms?
City.
See if
I
they've
mean, Hawkish, you kind of
reacted.
got what you wanted. Fourth pick. It's high, but it's not number one.
Hey, I'll take it.
He'll
Like I
take
said, I
it.
wanted high. I just did not want number one again. I want that bad juju off our back.
The number one overall curse is now the results start to filter in. We'll go ahead and get it, and we can actually go ahead and take a look. Take a look at the previous results again. Were YC on top this time. As we look at the top, it's HG, and this is pretty interesting. This time, there's surprisingly less like repeating of names in the top 10. So we can see HG, Upsetty, Automata, or ATO, UPS. Again, wait, nope, that's a repeat. AVI. It sort of continues on. It filters
There you
through.
go.
We'll get these results in and set up. And now I can do my favorite part of this, which is read off the picks in order. It's HG, UPS, ATO, AVI, NAN, BEF. That's cow. I think they're
Yeah.
just their
Yeah.
old
Yep.
thing on this sheet.
Beef.
Savannah, ATL, YC, BS, Big Slime, AP, those angry pirates, and OS, Order of Samurai, all the way in last. I think this is the first time Spence has ever not had something good. Watch Spence get like first in every single other category. I swear.
I can believe it.
The
No, with
freaking
Spence's luck,
Samurai
you know.
luck. The freaking it happens every time.
I blame
Yes,
Cash
CSC
rigging
stands
it.
for Spence.
Every single time. Well,
Spence is too
Hawkish,
cute.
I think
Yes,
you
cute.
got just about what you asked for, a good enough pick, but not too high. Feeling pretty good about that one. When it comes to looking at the rest of these tiers, what is there anything that sort of initially jumps out to you about any of the other tiers? Or actually, bigger question, is there any tier that you're hoping for a really good pick in before we let you go?
I would say I'm hoping for some solid luck in Elite, considering that is the tier that we are really rebuilding versus last season where we had a full team going in. Every other tier we kind of have some sort of plan. So Elite, it's going to be an interesting rebuild as a lot of our players have decided not to return to play this season.
Well, in a rebuild, it's always good to have the best picks to find the best of those lovely new players within the draft. Hawkish, thank you so much for jumping into this. Now the next tier. The next tier, I don't think we have a special guest lined up, but we can still talk about this because I know I myself am within that tier.
As
Chu,
am
are
I.
you? Yeah, okay, you
I did
are
get
as
moved
well.
down, yes.
And Willie, you're no
Contender.
Willie, not to
Still
not
contender.
to say you're in
Yeah, you
contender.
know.
I'm not quite good
You'll
enough.
make it to the big league someday.
Not quite good
Yeah.
enough. I made it there one season, and then they added in contender, and I'm down bad still. You know, it's what happens.
Hey, I was in the highest tier when there were only 2 tiers. All right, let's take a look at those odds for Challenger.
The most teams.
And the most even, it seems like.
Yeah, it does. Only a difference. A difference of 4% separating the bottom Headhunters Guild and the top cow. What do you beef? And I think honestly, it could be any one of these teams. Really, Headhunters Guild might get a repeat, a first pick, even though they won Challenger. Could happen.
I mean, it really could happen.
I think with all these teams, what's going to make it very interesting is seeing the trades, because obviously not every single one of these teams is going to need a good first round pick. So theoretically, let's say somebody like, I don't know, Gas or HG get the first pick. Will they necessarily need to keep it is my question. Maybe they trade it away, maybe get some better picks in some tiers that they didn't get so favorable in or didn't get so lucky in. So, we'll have to end up seeing what happens with that. But I think 14 teams in one tier, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, with all of this said, we've been able to take a look at this. I believe we can now jump into the marbles, and we can see where it all does pan out. As being set up real quick.
If I
love every time we're like ready for marbles and then we're not ready for marbles. This is just like perfect timing.
Come on.
It's just that the marbles aren't ready for us.
Production is a thankless job. I'm here for you.
We love you, production.
We love you. Fluffy, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
As a member of the aviary looking at this, do you want, do you want the first pick, to see if you might get a new teammate? Best in the division, perhaps?
Oh, first overall, there's no question that we want that. As a member of the aviary, it's very valuable to have those kind of picks, and either to trade away or more realistically to try to get a star player. I'm personally looking in the draft for some of the best. So if you're the best of the best, get ready to be drafted to the aviary.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna be Big Slime, honestly, but
they are far ahead. But
they just
have a
skipped the
roadblock
tunnel.
as all the marbles group up here.
And that is a lot evened out,
Never
and Nan
mind.
is nowhere to be seen.
Aviary and Savannah.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're all hitting the roadblocks.
Yeah, they're all taking the same path right now. I think Savannah might have locked it in, depending on what happens next in the course, of course.
Well, on the course, of course.
Yep.
Here they all go,
English is the
sliding
language.
down.
Oh, who's going to be able to avoid that is the question. All those blocks right there. It did seem like there was a path around them, but I don't see any marbles getting lucky, and so that actually shifts things around a lot. Now
Big
you have
Slime's back in the front.
YC breaking free first, but Big Slime is also up there.
Oh, Yokai Kaife might have earned themselves another first round pick. But Big
Oh
Slime's
no, they're
gonna
going to get knocked off.
Oh no!
Oh no! Perhaps dodging all of it was not the best idea.
And Big Slime takes it first.
Yeah,
Oh wow!
Big Slime.
I love how picks or marbles 5 through 10 are all A franchises.
All right, but think of it this way: 1 through 4 has none.
That's true. The A franchise is taking an L here.
It's true. If you're in a franchise and it starts with A, you're on an L team. Except for you, Aviary. You're here.
Ah, thanks.
AVI, I mean, Puffy, that's not exactly what you were looking for there, was it? You
It's
still got a
not
pretty
exactly
high pick.
what we were looking for, but it's high enough to work with, and to try to either trade it up, or to just go for the pick that we were thinking of. Because obviously, you can get a very good player even if you don't have the highest the highest pick in the tier. Overall, a fun one, an exciting race to watch, I will say. That one was very neck and neck all the way through. And now, as we go ahead and take a look over at the results, I'll pull it up in Chally. Big Slime with that first overall pick. Savannah with the second. And Upsetty Spaghetti there on the third. Then it's ATL, ATO, AVI, OS, H4K, YC, Gas, HG, NA Nids, AP, and then Cow. So, unfortunate for the newer franchises, as both AP and Cow are in the last two slots here in Chally. Perhaps just a little bit of beginner's bad luck. Or, I don't know, maybe they were looking to have a keeper in that first round, meaning that they just use that pick to keep a player, and then they could have a very early second round. Who knows? Again, snake draft, you got to remember, even a late pick in one round means that, you're a little earlier in others, so it could end up helping out. Overall, I've got to say, just looking at this, I'm glad that HG, who won the whole tier, don't have like a super high pick. I feel like at 11th, it makes sense. And Big Slime, it's neat to see them on top. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for Savannah and UPS. It seems like the odds kind of actually worked out on this one.
Yeah. I mean, it pretty much made sense. Obviously I was rooting for Nan to be able to get a higher pick there, but still not a bad, round at all. I think that first round is going to be interesting to see exactly how many keepers there are, because I can't name any, challenger franchises or challenger teams that might be looking for a complete rebuild. Now, obviously, that first pick can be traded away. You can do tons of things with it. But I think that, when it comes to just looking at the teams, I don't see many that want to rebuild completely. I do see a lot of teams that are maybe just looking to pick up one, maybe two more players to build up their team a little bit and maybe pad the stats.
And you can do that with one early pick. Maybe you don't even need a high MMR star player. Maybe you need a support player. But if in the first round you find the best support player and you want them, then you just take them early and you're in a really good spot.
There's value for any team outside of just somebody getting frags. I mean, Fuffy, you yourself, you are the 80s enemies flashed a game demon.
It's just my specialty, is throwing the flashbangs.
Every time someone plays against you, they're flashed for hours each game.
Yep.
Every team needs a Fuffy. If you're drafting,
only.
Get a Fuffy. Everybody
needs some flashes, just a couple flashes of brilliance. And who knows? So you can provide value to your team in many ways. Of course, we always fixate on that first round because it's the most exciting. Everybody's getting star players most of the time. But every single round is so important within the draft. Single player is so important, except for you, Spence. Why did I make that joke? Why do I go back to making fun of Spence? It's probably because I swear he seems to do well in every single marbles race. And we have another marbles race to come up, but first we're going to check the odds here for Elite.
That's okay. Spence is used to getting made fun of.
we love Spence, but we see him
here is
he's got really 10%.
Really, really low here. I think any team could get first here. I mean, that's true for all of them, but all very compact. 10% to 7%. It's almost even.
Oh yeah.
I think it's anyone's game right here. I mean, I don't see, obviously there's teams that are more favored, but just looking at this, from what we've seen with the other races, with how close this is not going to be, oh, definitely, whoever came in last season is going to be our pick. Is going to get first. It's going to be really just whoever makes it around the blockades first.
Yeah.
All right. I have a special guest to bring in, current Elite member, I do believe, as I go ahead and drag them in. Manifest.
Hello.
When you look at the Elite tier, how important do you think these early picks are? Do you think there's some stars that are really going to stand out? What are your feelings when you look at the draft and the possible picks that may come through?
For this season, I think there have been quite a few Ds that are looking very impressive and look like good worthy first round picks. But Honestly, I think that the keepers that stayed below Premier from last season are going to be even more important. So maybe getting a low draft pick is not the worst thing in the elite tier.
Ooh, okay. Perhaps this lottery won't mean everything, but it's still going to mean something. As we're going to jump into this manifest, feel free to cheer for all the big slime marbles as excitedly as you'd like.
Oh,
Make sure your mic is peaking the entire race.
I'll scream. I'll yell.
The whole race going to have it.
We want the hype to be immaculate here.
Well, actually, I will say that this ball means nothing for us as we don't have a first round pick. But I would also want it to be known that Big Slime has won the past 2 elite seasons of marbles.
All right, so you're trying to be
professional
3-time marble champions. You're trying to be the marble Jordan here. Back to
No,
back, repeat?
because I do not want T Noodle to have our first overall pick.
So you're rooting for low just to give it
Yeah,
the
we are
title.
looking for last place.
All right, feel
also
free
get it.
to talk trash about your marbles this entire race.
Yeah,
About to have the heaviest marbles out here. We'll be in dead last.
critique their roundness.
Yeah, then we need triangles.
I mean,
Oh,
it's looking like
probably.
Cow's got
Cow.
the
It's an exciting one.
no
Yeah, I think
more
that's-
Beth, only Cow.
That is
Only
a team
Cow.
that could use the
Ooh.
pick, in my opinion. They struggled a little bit last season. Would help them out a lot.
Oh, look at these
Oh,
marbles.
Hacker
bro.
Haven.
kind of
H4K.
swept through the whole
Oh.
thing.
But AVI did
Aviary.
too.
Let's go, AVI. AVI in a spot to rebuild, maybe have one player. So
Oh,
we
but
would
why
be
see
very
where did
happy
you
with
come
an
from?
earlier pick. Oh, Hacker
Hacker
Haven's
Haven
back in?
again.
Oh, AVI's catching up? This is chaos.
It's the A's coming in.
Oh, there'd
no,
be
the
Hacker
A
Haven and
gang.
YC with the A squad going through.
Through the corkscrew.
Hacker Haven again. Just
Oh,
oh my god,
launched
ATO
is-
completely dodged everything.
and this, if they can hold this, I mean that's an easy first
be big
pick.
for 'em.
No
But Big
one's really
Slime.
close.
It's nowhere to be seen. But that's what
Good.
you want,
Oh,
right?
no,
Manifest?
yeah, it is. I just saw us
Oh,
flash up. there
how
for
did
a
Hacker Haven get past all this?
They're just
Hacker-
breaking it. They're
Oh
built
my
different.
God.
They dodged that one too?
Oh
Oh,
no.
Getting stuck.
Oh no.
They're gonna
Oh no.
go.
They're catching up.
They're gonna
Oh no, everyone's going
AVI's
to the
here.
right.
ATL's here. Everybody's here.
Oh,
ATO?
ATO makes it through though.
and then it's oh wow.
Right at the end.
Is Big Slime last?
That's what we like to see.
ATO, Cow,
think we-
Hacker Haven, and then AVI.
Then the Yokai Cafe. Then Atlantis.
Now that was an exciting race of marbles,
It
I
was a
do
good
gotta
race.
say.
It was a good race.
Very-
I do think you've gotten what you wanted, Manifest. This seems
That-
like a
yeah.
certified last place.
Yeah, that is very, very good for the boys, and I'm happy for Assassin.
I like how we've gotten a guest on every single time get what they want. Hawkish is like, oh yeah, I just want like, a higher pick, something decent. I don't like the pressure of being first overall. Gets
Yeah, I don't want
one
a
sort of
good
in the
pick.
middle
I want
high.
to be content, not happy.
Annex gets first. You get last.
Yeah, this has been very good.
Very good. As we get all these results coming in, I can go ahead and do my classic read off. ATO, Cow, H4K, AVI, YC, ATL, OS, Gas, HG, UPS, BS, and NAN.
Second to last. Wow.
The classic.
Nan getting last is just a formality, though. As
That's-
expected.
NAN always
Hey,
gets second, though, but
second,
not in
yeah.
the lottery.
Come on. You can insult us, but insult us properly.
Okay.
Shout out to second place Nan every single playoffs. My dream is to go up against Nan in a finals, because either way, either winning or I'm making history, and that's what really
go.
matters. Manifest,
go.
I want to thank you for joining in as our little special guest here on this one. It was a fun one. I love your unique perspective on, screw you, T-Noodle. I want the worst pick possible to give you.
Yeah, thank
Vote
you guys for
traded.
having me, and go Big Slime for Premier. Also, any GMs listening, I need a first round elite pick. Okay, thank you. Bye.
He traded
Hey,
away
maybe
his pick.
T-Noodle will give back that one. Who knows?
That's true. He could.
All right. Well, this last tier, last but certainly not least, is Premier. in Premier, we actually have, it's only 6 teams now coming into it, which is going to make it an exciting one, given that we're essentially going to just have the best of the best going at each other, and it's going to be a lot more tight-knit because of the smaller amount of teams. So I'm pretty excited for this one. We can go ahead and pull up those odds, and we can see, because we have a smaller amount of teams, we see a little bit more variance in the odds, going all the way from 12% up to 21%.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we were kind of always saying, there are some diamonds in the rough. The divisions, the conferences were all really close together, and maybe getting a later pick may not be as big of a deal. I feel like for Premier, it differs from that slightly. There are players who are just a cut above the rest here in Premier that normally happens, and I feel like that will kind of be the story of the draft on when we start picking teams. And I think these odds will matter a lot.
Yeah, I think that when you get up to Premier, I was talking about it with Prospect, the util knowledge, but I feel like when you get up to Premier, pretty much everyone has a pretty even understanding of util. It just starts to come down to who can click heads better. It's interesting the way that you go from being in Prospect, you want to find somebody who's able to hit their shots, and that's kind of one of your primary focuses. When you get up to those middle tiers, maybe you're looking for somebody who's good with util, more of a rounded player. But then in Premier, really the only thing that starts to differentiate these players is experience and that raw aim and that raw skill that you really look for.
Yeah.
Sometimes you straight up just find even FPL players almost jumping in hey, can I play Premier? This kind of crazy high level of NACS, which can be real fun. And obviously CSC gets to be a much more casual environment that can still emulate that competitive play that we all know and love. Looking at these odds, we can see Order of Samurai sitting there at 15%, right in the middle. And our next guest can go ahead and ask our next guest, as we're going to pull Spence in, talk about it. Seeing as you're sort of sitting in the middle of the odds, Spence, how are you feeling going into this draft lottery for Prem?
It would have mattered a lot less if Nan and ATO still had games. Just that's 4 free wins the season. But
ouch.
I don't know. I think kind of regardless of how our numbers look, we always fare really well. So I'm not too worried about it.
All right, not too worried indeed. Well, then I believe we can go ahead and cut on into these marbles. Go ahead and take a look at all of them doing their marbling. And, well, we can go ahead and see. Spence, are you hoping for a high pick here? Or are you looking for a late one for a keeper? What are you thinking right now?
I think we've lost a little bit of our top end, so high pick wouldn't be bad, but we're trade demons anyway, so wherever we end up, I'm not super worried. We'll get a high pick regardless.
Oh, he knows. He's read the script.
All right,
I
guys.
wrote the script.
Leaking numbers and now the script. Come on.
Come on.
I mean, that's what I said. He owns
Don't talk about the secret
Spence.
media script chat where we write how every game will end.
Sorry.
I'm never part of the NAN conversations. That's the issue.
We're up in front already.
I mean, there's so many different tubes.
Look at them marble. Look at them all marbling marbles.
Yeah,
they're rolling.
They're marbling that now.
Whoever's writing these down at BS ends with a higher pick, just squint really hard and put down OS instead.
Yeah, I get it. If you look close enough. Oh, OS in front?
Okay, have we gotten a shoutcast for any of these yet?
We're not just going straight shoutcast mode.
Come on.
Are we good? It's the last one.
OS losing 2 there, but BS,
Oh,
UPS,
even more!
Oh my god.
and all going
It's a
down.
massacre.
What a
Of course,
blunder!
no, it's Premier. Got to have the hardest course, right?
Exactly.
Oh, of
Rip
course.
half my marbles.
Just
No,
go
you're
ahead and
good.
see.
Look, you still have one in front. OS is leading.
Right behind them, BS, GAS, and UPS, all
It's
of the S
S's.
franchises,
It's all of the S's.
up together around the final corner, up to the end. OS
Oh,
still
he's
in the
getting
lead,
the
and they're
top
going to
pick.
lock in that
It's
first pick.
Spence.
Big Slime in second, Gas in third,
It's
and Upset
scripted.
Spaghetti in
It's
first.
scripted.
The
We
script
scripted.
comes
Yeah,
through
it's
for
scripted.
Spence.
Oh, yes. Guess luck is real.
always
Guess
scripted.
luck is real.
It's always freaking scripted every
It's
single
scripted.
time. Can we just cut to the? Can we cut to the GM room just to see
I want to see
Spence's
the
face?
GM room, yeah.
I just want to see
Laughing.
Spence.
This is why he's smiling.
Look at this guy. He's
I'll get
like,
him.
Hold on. I
Yo,
think I
what
have
was
the
your
script
camera?
over
We
here
gotta see
somewhere.
the draw
Wait,
line.
hold on. Where's it? Oh,
We gotta see.
There's
Josh is just like, what the
Josh
frick?
is
hold
not
on.
happy.
there we go. There's your script.
There's the script.
That's
Oh,
the
that's
script.
number
Oh,
one.
no. Oh no.
There's your script. Definitely
Oh,
not written
no.
just now, but there's your
Oh,
script. Congratulations.
amazing. I already know it was foretold by
Uh.
the prophecy. OS is always gonna make it to the top.
Punkish, I love you.
We can go ahead and check through these results. It's OS, BS, GAS, UPS, and then the two non-S franchises in 5th. It's HG and then H4K in 6th. So a nice little lineup for the short and sweet tier that is Premier. And just an exciting one overall. We should have some graphics real soon to be able to throw up on screen. While we get those ready, I just want to say, looking at this and the tiers as a whole, just from memory, as you two as my host, is there any name as of a franchise that already stands out as being up on top?
Yokai Cafe, I think, had a fair bit of picks. I know they got the number 1 in prospect, but I think they got like the number 2 and number 3 in the elite, maybe, or challenger. I think they got some good picks, even after their like success in the last season.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this, I gotta say, I think I'd agree with you. Yokai Cafe definitely has at least some banger picks coming in. I mean, aside from obviously their first round pick, first place pick. Actually, they also have some pretty good mid rounds. There's just not a whole lot to say about the franchise I was rooting for. Nan just didn't have a whole lot going on for them. It feels like we did not have good placement in any of those, and maybe that's just a testament to how good we do every season.
Just doing great. I went ahead.
Always find the silver lining.
To Supreme's name, right?
Yeah.
I want to know if it's
trophies.
Supreme that's cursed or if it's Nan that's cursed. Because
True.
I mean, we've never seen the two apart, so who knows? It's just like we don't know if it's Night Fury that's awesome or if Savannah's just that cool. All right, go ahead. I'll pull up the results here. Looking at them all, we can actually I can just throw in the chat all of our results graphics. If you go ahead on the live streaming chat, click the little open chat button, and you all, as our hosts, can then see these graphics, and we can.
Yep.
Oh, we got them on stream. Thank you so much,
graphics.
Dustin. You're even faster. We have graphics.
That is incredible.
Let's go.
Let's
Prospect.
go.
First overall,
Got the
it's
expanded
Yokai
cast here.
Cafe. Upsetty Spaghetti on number 2. On number 3, Order of Samurai. We've NAN, ATL, AP, AVI, and SAV. So looking at this one, Savannah, perhaps they're a little bit behind on prospect. I'm not sure if if they have any players to carry over from previous seasons, perhaps to make up for that, or if they're just going to just have to wait and see at that 8th slot of the draft. Looking at this, Yokai Cafe won last season, and now their first overall pick. Honestly, I think this is a really good spot to be in, because when you win a season, if all your players do really well, your high players are going to go up anyways. So you're not going to have a first overall like keeper kind of player. So you might as well go through the draft again. Get yourself a star,
Yeah, I mean, obviously in prospect, you do have a lot. It feels like a lot of turnover almost with how many players in prospect will end up getting moved up to contender, especially on winning teams, because they just outshine everyone. Maybe they just weren't placed right at the beginning of the season. Maybe they had a rocky start, and then they just get shot up to contender. And, maybe those higher teams, they do need a little bit of new stars going into season 10.
There we go.
Looking at contender, Headhunters Guild up on top. We see Savannah were the ones to win the previous season. If my memory serves me right. Now they're just right there in the middle. This time, Spence on the bottom. Flipped the script on its head for Order of Samurai. Well, Headhunters Guild took it over top. You have a first. Of course you do.
Even
of
when
course.
he loses, he wins. Even when he loses, he wins.
Even
It's
when he
scripted.
loses, he wins. Wow. Okay. I like that, before we saw YC on top, now we see HG and YC is sort of down lower. It's sort of even all over the place. I can't just pick out a straight up winner from this as we look at it, which is fun, which is exciting. When I think about contender, I think about some solid players, but players with a lot to learn, a lot of room to grow, because they're on the grind. They're here in contender. It's where I would say most people newer are in contender or prospect, and so we can see some exciting ones, which means some of these draft eligibles could grow over the season into absolute monsters. And so draft picks are important.
Yeah. Can't disagree. Now, looking at this, I think when we were asked about which team we thought did the best, I don't think we could be more wrong, because UPS has gotten like second, third, and second again, and YC's been near the bottom. Our memory is just bad. This is not good.
UPS, a freaking T-Noodle, man.
It's always
Freaking T-Noodle.
I guess that just means Manifest was looking out for us by getting that last pick.
T-Noodle's like the new Spence in the T-Noodle also for Upsetty Spaghetti gets all these really good picks and like is grinding out teams and stuff, and Rask is DMing everyone as the AGM.
Saying he's the new Spence would assume that I'm still not fixing the lottery season.
True.
Spence still at it. Classic antics.
A very, Spence, you do say that, and you do have pick number 7, which with the snake draft, no matter which round we're in, you are going to be very middle of the pack. So who knows? It could work out in your favor. Maybe the script is still on the way.
This is Challenger.
We have our full team already set up in Challenger. I could care less where we get picks there.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go.
He can't even be mid. He's always ready.
Speaking of that, now we have the Elite one pulled up. I mean, looking at Elite here, it is pretty interesting to see ATO on top. ATO is a name that we haven't really seen a whole lot in the other picks. But to see them get a first, obviously the first pick overall in Elite, that could set them up very nicely. I don't know exactly what their situation's looking like over there in ATO, but what do you guys think of this?
Spence, you already have your Elite team figured out too?
We don't actually. The only good thing that I like about this is regardless of who Mecha picks, it's Mecha, he will fuck it up somehow.
Hey, we just need 3 people to mess up, and then AVI will get the best player.
First overall pick means nothing when you have Mecha drafting.
Well, ATO now is Assassin,
yes, It's still a Mecha
who carries
franchise.
the spirit of Mecha because it's still the same franchise.
So, Spence, are you suggesting that if you get picked first in the Elite, you should actually feel insulted?
Absolutely. Whoever picks me first in Elite is hallucinating. Have you seen me play?
Dang, got him. All right. Well, that's Elite. And now we take a look at Premier. Of course, the script, as foretold. Big Slime up there as well. Shout out to Manifest. Shout out to Sinky. Gas, UPS, HG, and then H4K. I would say in Premier, it's both important to have early picks, but then also there's a wealth of good players. There's a lot of good players. And so I think all of these squads, hopefully, fingers crossed, will have really good teams when it comes time to jump into the regular season.
It would be nice, but I don't think it's possible. There's bound to be one team that's just not working out. Not because the players are bad, maybe just don't mesh well, but I doubt we're going to end up with everyone being 3-3 because it's just so... Someone's bound to mess up, but who's it going to be is the question.
And you do kind of have to feel bad for Hacker Haven in Premier. I mean, they had a 21% chance. They had the highest odds.
That's true.
And they have now the last pick in the first round. So, obviously Hacker Haven maybe going to be looking to make some trades in some other tiers. We will have to see how that turns out. But I mean, aside from that, OS, we were talking about them, middle of the pack, getting first there. That's exactly what Spence wanted, as he said. Script has been written. And then other than that, it seems like everything was falling into place pretty much correctly. When it comes to odds, there was a bit of difference between Upsetty Spaghetti there at 12% versus Hacker Haven, and it's only 2 picks. So I think that really no matter where you land in Premier, you're going to end up with some great players.
Yeah, I can't agree more. And I just want to say, this has been a very fun and exciting draft lottery, perhaps the smoothest that we've had. And I want to extend a thanks to production because, well, first of all, Firehawk running the behind the scenes of all the marbles, making this run smoothly, getting the odds or the results so quickly that I could make graphics for the previous one while the next race is going on, send them all in, and then we got them in via our lovely producer, Slatong, who has jumped in their first time essentially streaming at all here for CSC. And it's been a pleasure to work with everybody. Willie, Chu, I love you guys. I appreciate you for being the host with me. Shout out to all the GM guests that we've had in. And before we close out, I want to tell everybody to enjoy combines because those are happening now, and then to be ready for the draft because, you know, if you thought this production was pretty cool, pretty neat, we're going to try to up our game even more. We love you guys and have fun in combines.